Hello grade 8, this is Miss Mary and today we will solve the questions in the book for lesson 1 chapter 22 about chemical bonding. So please before we start open your book 165 and let's start solving and highlighting the main important points in the lesson. In the first part here, if you remember the last video, we spoke about the chemical bonding and we said that the chemical bonding is the joining of atoms to form new substances. So we will highlight this part, what the meaning of chemical bonding. And the bond that forms when two atoms join, we call it, yes, chemical bond. So what is the meaning of chemical bond? The bond that forms when two atoms join together. Okay? This is the main important parts in this paragraph. So in this part, atoms can gain or lose or share electrons. This is the three ways how atoms make chemical bonds: by sharing, by losing, by gaining electrons. Some atoms gain electrons, like chlorine atom, they gain one. Some they lose electrons, like sodium, they lose one. And some they share electrons, like carbon atoms, they share electrons in the oxygen. So in the first question here, explain what can happen to electrons in an atom when a chemical bond forms. So the answer for this question will be atoms can gain or lose or share electrons to form compounds and to be stable. Okay? Okay, let's go to the next part, electrons in atoms. As we said before also that electrons found inside the atom in layers, and these layers are called energy levels. So electrons are found in energy levels. So found where? In energy level. We said that the first energy level, the closest to the nucleus, and this one can hold 2 electrons. The second energy level can hold 2, so the second can hold 8 electrons, and the third energy level as well can also carry 8 electrons. So 2, 8, and 8 also. 2, 8, 8. So in this question, describe where are electrons found in an atom. Yes, they found where? In energy levels. Okay, and now we will go to the next page, page 366. In this part, which electrons affect bonding? We said that the electrons that participate in the bonds or the chemical bonds, we know them as valency electron. What are the valency electron? Electrons in the outermost energy level. This is very important. What means valency electron? Electrons in the outermost level. So in this question, where are the valency electrons found in the atom? Yeah, they were the outermost energy level. Write the answer here. As we know from the third quarter, the atomic number is the number that shows how many protons are in the atom. And as we know that protons equal the protons equal the electrons. So we will make a note here that protons equal electrons. So the atomic number of an element tells how many protons are in the atom, and we know that protons and electrons are equal. So from the atomic number we can know the number of electrons. So the question here, determine the atomic number of carbon 6. Carbon has atomic number 6. How many protons does an atom of carbon have? As we said, atomic number is the number of protons. So if the carbon has atomic number 6, so it will have only 6 protons. And how many electrons it will have? Because it has 6 protons, so it will have also 6 electrons because they are equal. Okay, and now we will move to the next part. So in this part we will underline the atomic number is how many protons are in the atom of the element. Okay, Here we have two models for atoms, model 1 for oxygen atom and model 2 for sodium atom. Here, how many valence electrons do we have here? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 for oxygen, the valency electron for oxygen 6. And for sodium, we look where? We look only on the outer shell, and the sodium has only 1 valency electron. Okay, so let's move to the next part here. In question 5, when oxygen reacts, how many more electrons are needed to fill the outermost energy level for oxygen? When oxygen goes in a bond or a chemical bond with another atom, how many electrons are needed by the oxygen atom? As we know that the outer shell should be 8, so in this case it has 6 electrons, so it needs to gain how many? Yes, 2 electrons. It will gain 2 electrons to be completed with 8 electrons. Okay, now let's move to the next page. As you remember, we can know that the valency electron from the number of the group. We said for group 1 they have valency 1, for group 2 they have valency 2, and then we said from 3 to 12 they don't have clear rule, they don't have regular pattern, but from 13 to 18 we subtract 10, so in the group 13 take out 10, so it would be 3, so all of them they have valency 3. Carbon also, in the carbon group they have 4 valency, nitrogen group they have 5 valency. The question here is asking use the periodic table to figure out how many valency electron for element in group 16. What do you think, how many valency they will have? We said we will remove 10 from the 16 and it will be 6. So each column in the periodic table is a group. The atoms have the same valency. The only exception for the rule has 2 valency, the helium. The helium is the only difference here, because the helium, if we have this rule, so helium will have 8 valence electron, which is not true. Helium has only 2 valence electron because the helium has 2 electrons only, so it has only 1 shell. And this means that it's very stable because the first energy level carries only 2, and the helium has 2 electrons, so this is the valency 2, not 8. Okay. Okay. So in this question 7, why do atoms bond? Some atoms form bonds easily and others do not. Like the noble gases, they are very stable. They don't make bonds with other atoms. Very rare. An atom forms a bond with another in order to complete or fill the outer shell. So why atoms? They tend to make bonds to complete their outer shell or to fill the outer shell, the outer energy level. And in this case we say that the atom is most stable when the outer energy level is full. So when the outer energy level is full with 8 electrons, this means that the atom is very stable. The atoms in the group 18, if you remember the noble gases, we call this group noble gases, have full outermost. Their outermost energy is already completed or full with 8 electrons, except the helium, it has 2 electrons and also it's full because the first energy level carries only 2. So this group, they are already stable. Question: why group 18 they don't form bonds with other atoms? So what the answer will be, because they have complete or full outer energy level with 8 electrons, so they don't need to participate in any chemical bonds because they already completed their outer shell, or they have complete outer shell. However, atoms in groups have outermost energy level that are not full. These atoms fill their outermost energy by forming bonds, so the rest they form bonds easily because they need to complete their outer energy level. So in this question, why do atoms bond with one another? Why? To complete or fill their outer most energy level. So the answer in this question, we have here sulfur. Sulfur has 6 valence electrons. It can have 8 valence electrons by sharing 2 electrons or gaining 2 electrons. They need 2 to complete their outer energy level. Magnesium has 2 valence electrons outside, 1, 2. And in this case, this here, they have 1 and 2 valence electron in the outer shell, and in this way it's easier for magnesium to lose the 2 electrons and stay with the inner shell, this one which has 8 electrons. In this case, magnesium ion will be very stable. Okay, in this question, calcium Ca is the same group as magnesium. Calcium and magnesium, they found in the same group. Does it tend to gain or lose electrons when it's bound? Here, the calcium here. This is a calcium in the same group as magnesium. Magnesium here. So all of them, they have, as we said, the same valency 2. Valence electron 2. So in this case, calcium will lose or gain the 2 electrons. Which one is easier? To lose 2 electrons or gain 6 electrons? Of course, to lose the 2 electrons, this is easier. So we will choose it lose electrons when they bond, because losing the 2 electrons easier than gaining 6 electrons to complete its outer energy level. Okay, so now we will solve the next page. Okay, here in the first question, how do atoms form chemical bonds? How? By, if you remember, by what? By losing, gaining, or sharing electrons. So we will write this down here. In the next question, use models. Fluorine F is an atom with 2 electrons in its outer, in the inner most energy level. In the inner here, they have 2 electrons, and 7 in its outer most energy level. Draw electrons around the nucleus. Color the valency in different colors. So let's start. First, in the first energy level, we will draw 2 electrons, and when we draw electrons, we put them on different sides. We don't put them together. No, we put one this side and one on the other side. For the second energy level, we will put the electrons, one on this side and one on this side. We will distribute first the electrons on the 4 outer, in the 4 main directions. Here also 1. And on the other side 1. So how many now we have? 4. Okay, and then how many left? We said fluorine has 7, so we will complete making. So when we distribute the electrons, first energy level will have 2. We draw them on different sides, and then we draw the 7 electrons in the outer shell, 2 pairs by pairs, 2 pairs, 2 pairs, and 2 pairs, and here we will have single pair. And usually fluorine atom, it gains 1 electron to complete the outer energy level. And this is in the next question. How can atom that has 7 valence electron complete its outermost energy level? By gaining 1 electron. 2 electrons in its outermost energy level. Oxygen has 6 valence electron. How can magnesium atom bond with oxygen, with an oxygen atom? So the answer for this question, magnesium atom loses 2 electrons and oxygen atom gains 2 electrons, and by this way both of them will have outermost energy level with 8 electrons. Next question, each box in the periodic table contains an element symbol and the element atomic number. Using the box below, answer the question about the sulfur. As we know that inside each box we have the symbol or the letter for the element, and up here the atomic number. The atomic number, as we know, is the number of protons. So this number is the number of protons. So how many protons do we have here? We have 16 protons. How many electrons does an atom of sulfur have? As we know, the protons and electrons are equal, so also sulfur will have also 16 electrons. Okay, so this was everything for today. In the next video we will start section 2 about the types of bonds. So see you and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.